Valentine's Day, a day filled with roses, chocolates, and declarations of love, has a sinister past lurking beneath its romantic front. While on 14th of February it is celebrated as a day of affection and appreciation, its roots delve deep into a history fraught with darkness and tragedy. The origins of Valentine's Day trace back to ancient Rome, where a pagan festival known as Lupercalia was held from February 13th to 15th. Lupercalia honored the god Lupercus, an idyllic deity associated with fertility and purification. The festival involved rituals aimed at warding off evil spirits and ensuring fertility for both crops and livestock. During Lupercalia, young men would strip naked and run through the streets, striking women with strips of goat hide called februa. It was believed that this ritual would bestow fertility and purify the women, protecting them from infertility and easing the pains of childbirth. While this may seem bizarre by modern standards, it was considered a sacred and necessary practice in ancient Roman society. However, as Christianity began to spread throughout the Roman Empire, early Christian leaders sought to Christianize pagan festivals like Lupercalia. In the 5th century AD, Pope Gelasius I declared February 14th as Saint Valentine's Day, in honor of two Christian martyrs named Valentine who were both executed on different dates in February by the Roman Emperor Claudius II. Legend has it that one of the Valentines was a priest who defied Claudius' verdict banning marriage for young men, believing that single men made better soldiers. The priest continued to perform marriages in secret, leading to his arrest and eventual martyrdom. Another legend suggests that Valentine, while imprisoned, fell in love with his jailer's daughter and sent her a letter signed, "From your Valentine," before his execution. Despite the efforts to Christianize the holiday, remnants of its pagan origins lingered. Over time, Valentine's Day evolved into a celebration of love and romance, with the exchange of handwritten notes, flowers, and tokens of affection becoming customary. However, not all stories associated with Valentine's Day are filled with love and joy. Some tales speak of a darker side to the holiday, where love turns to obsession and passion descends into madness. Some say that this festive day originated from the following horrific event when lived a young woman named Isabella. Isabella was known for her unparalleled beauty, her long, flowing hair like strands of spun gold, and her eyes the color of sapphires. Many men in the town vied for her affection, but Isabella only had eyes for one, a handsome, yet reclusive man named Damien. Damien was a mystery to the townsfolk, often seen wandering the forest alone, his dark cloak billowing behind him like the wings of a shadowy creature. Despite his aloof demeanor, Isabella was drawn to him, captivated by the enigmatic aura that surrounded him. One day, supposedly a day somewhere around 14th of February, Isabella decided to confess her love to Damien. She adorned herself in her finest gown, a bouquet of roses clasped tightly in her trembling hands, and ventured into the heart of the forest where Damien was said to reside. As Isabella approached Damien's secluded cottage, she felt a sense of foreboding creep over her. Ignoring the warning bells in her mind, she knocked on the door, her heart pounding with anticipation. To her surprise, Damien welcomed her inside with a smile that sent shivers down her spine. For hours they talked, lost in each other's company, until the clock struck midnight, and Isabella realized she had lingered far longer than intended. With a heavy heart, she bid Damien farewell, promising to return the next day. But as Isabella made her way home through the darkened woods, a sense of unease gnawed at her. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Her fears were realized when she stumbled upon a gruesome sight: the torn remains of a young woman, her body mangled beyond recognition. Terrified, Isabella fled back to the safety of her home, her mind reeling with horror. The next morning, news spread like wildfire through the town of the grisly discovery in the forest. Rumors swirled, whispers of a curse that befell those who dared to seek love on Valentine's Day. Days turned into weeks, and Isabella's love for Damien only grew stronger, despite the darkness that lurked in the shadows. She returned to his cottage time and time again, unable to resist the pull of their forbidden romance. But with each visit, Isabella noticed subtle changes in Damien. His once charming behavior grew cold and distant, his eyes devoid of the warmth she had once seen. And as Valentine's Day approached once more, Isabella's fears reached a fever pitch. Next year on same day when she confessed her love to Damien, Isabella made her final pilgrimage to Damien's cottage, determined to uncover the truth behind the curse that plagued their love. But what she discovered would haunt her for eternity. For Damien was no ordinary man. He was a creature of darkness, a being cursed to roam the earth for all eternity, feeding on the hearts of those foolish enough to fall in love on Valentine's Day. And as Isabella looked into his soulless eyes, she realized the depth of her mistake. With a blood-curdling scream, Isabella tried to flee, but it was too late. Damien's true form was revealed, his monstrous visage twisted with hunger and malice. and as he lunged towards her, Isabella knew that her fate was sealed. As the sun rose on Valentine's Day, the townsfolk awoke to a scene of horror: the remains of Isabella, her heart ripped from her chest, a single rose clutched in her lifeless hand. And as they mourned the loss of their beloved Isabella, they whispered of the curse that claimed her life, a curse born from a love that was never meant to be. And so, the legend of Valentine's Day lived on, a cautionary tale of love and horror, of passion turned to madness, and the darkness that lurks within us all. So, as you celebrate this day of love, remember the tale of Isabella and Damien. While Valentine's Day is typically associated with expressions of love and affection, there have been incidents around the world that have taken on a more sinister tone, adding a layer of horror to the holiday. Here are a few examples of such incidents. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, 1929. One of the most infamous incidents associated with Valentine's Day is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which occurred on February 14, 1929, in Chicago, Illinois, USA. During the Prohibition era, a conflict between rival gangs led to a brutal massacre where 7 members of the North Side Gang were lined up against a wall and gunned down by associates of Al Capone's gang. This bloody event shocked the nation and became a symbol of the violence and lawlessness of the time. The murder of Reva Steenkamp, 2013. On Valentine's Day in 2013, South African model Reva Steenkamp was tragically shot and killed by her boyfriend, Paralympian Oscar Pistorius. Pistorius claimed that he mistook Steenkamp for an intruder, but he was ultimately convicted of murder and sentenced to prison. This high-profile case captivated the world and highlighted the dark reality of domestic violence. The Valentine's Day blizzard of 1940, while not a single incident of horror, the Valentine's Day blizzard of 1940 brought chaos and devastation to the northeastern United States. Beginning on February 13 and continuing into Valentine's Day, the blizzard dumped record amounts of snow, causing widespread power outages, transportation disruptions, and numerous deaths. The sudden and severe nature of the storm left many residents unprepared and struggling to cope with the aftermath. The Valentine's Day Tsunami, 2007. On February 14, 2007, a devastating tsunami struck the coast of Indonesia, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. The tsunami was triggered by a powerful undersea earthquake and struck without warning, catching many residents and tourists off guard. The disaster claimed hundreds of lives and left thousands more injured and displaced, serving as a stark reminder of the unpredictable and destructive power of nature. The Valentine's Day Murders, 1980. In 1980, in South Wales, UK, a series of brutal murders occurred on Valentine's Day that shocked the nation. The bodies of newlyweds Peter and Gwenda Dixon were found near a remote lay-by, both shot in the head. It was later discovered that they were victims of armed robbers who had targeted them as they parked their car. The senseless violence of these murders left the community in mourning and raised concerns about safety and security. Now you decide what is the real reason behind Valentine's Day, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.